My name is Dr. Sandy Arnold, and I am the Chief of Pediatric Infectious Diseases at the University of Tennessee Health Science Center and the Bonheur Children's Hospital. I want to talk to you today about COVID-19 vaccines. I enrolled in the trial in late August and received my first dose of vaccine then. After I received the vaccine, I had some soreness in my arm, but otherwise felt completely well. 3 weeks later, I got my second dose of vaccine, and my arm was also sore then, and about 24 hours after the vaccine, I felt a little bit unwell with some muscle aches and maybe some low-grade fever. That lasted for a couple of hours, and after that, I felt perfectly fine. As somebody who had been asking people to enroll their children in clinical research for many years, I felt that it was my turn to do my part in helping advance medical science. While I did have a little bit of fear and trepidation about enrolling in a trial because very few people had received this vaccine at the time that I had, I felt very strongly that people needed to volunteer so that we could get the needed information to get this vaccine approved and able to be given to people as it is now. I want people to be reassured that despite the speed with which these vaccines have become available, that really no corners have been cut in the development and testing of these vaccines. Clinical trials were compressed into much shorter time frames than they are usually occurs when one is testing a vaccine. However, the same number of people, if not more people, have been tested in trials for these coronavirus vaccines than are often tested when new drugs come to market. The two vaccines that are currently available, the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine, that are made of mRNA, do not contain the whole virus. They only encode for the spike protein, and so you cannot get infection with COVID-19 from getting these vaccines. The companies that manufacture these vaccines are planning to do studies in children. We are hoping to have one of those studies here, the Pfizer vaccine, and that will likely take place next summer. So we want people to know that their children are not being left out. This vaccine, we assume, will be safe, but it does need to be studied in children because children's immune responses are very vigorous, and the dose of the vaccine that is safe and effective in adults may not be the right dose of vaccine for children. So they do require their own studies in order to determine the most safe and effective dose. The vaccine has proven to be incredibly efficacious in preventing symptomatic COVID infection. I feel very confident that I am protected against COVID infection, although I still continue to wear a mask because very few people have received the vaccine. I also don't know if I'm able to get infected with the virus and simply not become ill from it. And so for that reason, even people who have received the vaccine need to continue to wear masks and continue to socially distance. I want to thank everybody for listening. Everybody needs to think carefully about what is best for them, but they do need to understand that the vaccines that have currently received authorization are extremely safe. For more information about coronavirus, you can go to lebonheur.org/coronavirus or uthsc.edu/coronavirus.